Alrighty, we're on live right now, and I don't know how long I'll be on. So if you happen to pop in here, hang out for a while, I'm going to cover numerology notes, as I call it. I'm going to cover selenite. I'm going to cover creative pathwork meditations, which I have, and also I'm going to mention uh, my two online courses that are coming up real soon. I plan on teaching them. So if you want to participate, I'm going to tell you a little bit about them tonight. Those of you who are my spiritual daughters, longtime spiritual daughters, and spiritual sons, you will receive a good discount and you'll be paying a flat rate for each of these courses, depending on which one you're taking, or if you choose to take both of them. I'll give you a nice break if you take both of them. So, I'm Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. I am the founder, chief principal teacher, and host of my Circle of Grace One. Was founded on July 2nd, 1974, and established from that point in honor of my first metaphysical and spiritual teacher, my own biological mother, who was a um, student of the Rosicrucians as well as Astara groups. And she had also attained an opportunity amongst them to study with each other. So they would get together at least once or twice a month beyond the weekly meetings to be able to study these works, these materials that were of a metaphysical and spiritual base. Now, I must say that my mother was also very adept at the Bible. I'm not, but she understood it from a metaphysical side. And that was highly important for me to understand, even though I didn't understand as a child. One of the things I want to also reveal to you is that with all the things that we see going on in the world today, some of it may increase and get real bad, but hey, a lot of people are coming together in different ways. And one of the things I often have always said and truly are aware of, those of us that are in the fields of metaphysics and spirituality, the occult, which is teachings that are hidden from your normal gaze, your normal sight. If you're into mantras and yantras, yantras are the geometrical sacred shapes of the chakras. If you're into crystals, if you're into herbology, if you're into formulating recipes from the herbal blends and things that you have been studying for years, now's the time not to give up because your knowledge will be needed as time goes on. I'm not going to say right now, but it will be needed as time goes on. And what you also have to realize is that you can help put a stop to a lot of ignorance. You can help put a stop to a lot of biases. You could help put a stop, create a roadblock, and deter things from coming toward you or coming toward loved ones or coming toward communities because you are a part of these gazillion sciences, metaphysical teachings. And if you have been on the path where you are living them out for yourself, you will come to realize that you play a significant part in making things better here. Some of this information, I don't have notes written down. Some of this information is going to be channeled out because my guides are here. I've been talking to all of my totem guides, animal guides, spirit guides, ancestors, galactic connections, and so forth. And so any one of them might venture in here. They might stay in the background behind me, but they will reveal which one is giving me information. One of the things also I would like to say, this is a very important time period that we all are in. Good evening, my brother Holly Hemmett. This is a very, very potent time frame that we're living in, and we're going to have an opportunity to turn things around. As they say, turn the tables, turn back the clock, turn back time. We're going to be able to shift time. That's why a lot of this stuff is coming up. And if you notice, you have those 19 to 24 monks who have taken it upon themselves to walk 2,300 miles from Texas to from their Vietnamese Buddhist monastery, which is located somewhere in Texas, and been walking this track from Texas over to Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, uh, and so forth. So, and they're going to be in Washington, D.C. before we know it, as that is their target. But along the way, many people who have been following their journey, uh, and they've taken some. I think one of the monks lost his leg, got his legs amputated. These brothers were walking when the weather was okay. They were walking barefooted. Some of them had sandals. Some of them had other foot coverings. Some were walking in socks. Very strong brothers walking in socks, elders, mid range people, all walking together in silence. And we're able to, before they started this trek, we're able to contact the various state trooper organizations who they were able to get them to go walk, to drive behind them as well as ahead of them. They were also had their own what do you call those RV RVs with them, which they had medical staff people to kind of help them out. They even have a dog named Aloka, and that dog was it's a precious dog because he's their protector, he's their guide, he's or assists in this desire to walk this journey with them. Many of them obliterated their toes, because they're walking. And monks take a path of silence. And so they're not there to beg, but they receive nourishment along the way. They receive flowers along the way. Many of the sheriff's department that are very more favorable actually put a pin on his vest, scarf like vest or sash, right? And that's the head monk, young monk, and he wears them. So they're putting their prayer out. Now we know there's a lot of craziness in the world. A lot of this stuff is happening in the world, but no one has gotten to them yet. And I don't believe anyone will. They just have this strong presence, and they have been able to have as much as uh, 25 people walk behind them. And then that graduated to 100. And then that graduated to almost 500 people walking behind them, who are a part of these various Buddhist monasteries and centers set up throughout these various states, so that they kind of knew their route that they would be traveling upon and walking upon. So that is a great thing. And the reason why I stated is because they are like minded men, and they are radiating a frequency into the world that you can actually feel if you're sensitive enough and you have acquired different levels of sensitivity through meditation and deep prayer for yourself or with a community of other people. So this they are making history to be able to walk that walk like that, and I would say somewhat sacrifice their bodies a little bit. What I also would like to, I feel like I have to say, the world is changing, but what is actually changing is the mind, the way we are thinking. That's under attack, but it's changing not because an external force is attacking it. A birth on the inside is happening. Many of you have probably felt, why are you so tired? Um, Even before you have a meal. We know what happens when you have a meal and then you feel tired, but a lot of this is happening before a meal or throughout the day. It's because Mother Earth is in a process of releasing. Mother Earth is always going to release. And people say, hey, you live in an area where there's ancient volcanoes. Yeah, but they're not going to be active. Why? Because the majority of the metaphysical, spiritual, occult, this even involves those who practice paganism, those who practice Yoruba, those who practice some of the Haitian religions, because there's many of those people here as well. It kind of puts a key into the volcanic force field and it shifts it. So we are fortunate not to experience any outrageous things or any calamities. There's something about this whole entire area. Now I understand what it is. I met a person who was contacted by National Geographic to go down to the Nika Mountains. And I met this woman. Her last name is Hutchinson. And Leela Hutchinson, Leela Hutchinson. And she's a student. She's a profound person who has studied minerals, the mineral kingdom. And one of the things she did study, I have her book. Um, I think I have part one and part two. She studied selenite. Now, what was very interesting, she was in those Nika Mountains in New Mexico way back in the late 1990s. And then she was able to write her book. She's originally from Salinas, California, and was contacted by the National Geographic, which did a whole thing on it. If you have any of these smartphones or smart TVs, you could actually go on an app called Gaia, Gaia, and you can look it up. And she's one of these people. And amazing things about it, these selenite shards that are way down in the earth, when a person gets on them, they look like an ant crawling across these pieces of shards in the earth. These wands, these rods, these sticks of selenite. And so selenite is a very powerful gem. And I didn't even know about that, but I wrote my book, did my work, and I studied selenite on my own as far back as 1988. So that's 2 years before she was called from California to go have that experience. There's also a gemologist here from the University of New Mexico who was a part of that team as well, a woman who was a part of that team as well, to be the Americans to be invited into this and do their research. And Leela had mentioned that there's a vein, a wide vein of selenite that runs from the Nika Mountains and goes up through the southern part of New Mexico, almost dead center, coming all the way up. And where does it pass through? Many cities south of Albuquerque, but it also goes right around and through Albuquerque, which is the largest city in this state. And so it comes out on the other side, snakes around to, I believe, Santa Fe, Santa Fe and Espanola, and goes further north into the southern region of the state of Colorado, which is just above and next to New Mexico. So this is a very strong reason that backs why I'm supposed to be here. And I'm here, and I met her. An interesting factor, I wrote a book, of course, called um, The Age of Remembrance, subtitled The Divine I Am Presence in Selenite, and I gifted her my book. I just gave it to her when I found out I had an opportunity to meet her. So, selenite is very prominent. And so tonight I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about some tidbits about numerology that we need to lock into. I'm going to talk about chakra energy, perhaps. Wherever my heart is leading me, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to definitely talk about my courses. And so you get an idea what those courses are about. Well, book number 6 that I wrote was called The Key to Life is Numerology, subtitle Your Name and Date of Birth Through the Study of Numbers. You can purchase this book for $25 on Amazon right now. It's paperback book form. And what you need to know is that this is an opportunity to get this information. People ask me, well, how long have you been studying numerology? On my own since 1974. That was 4 years and several months, 4 years and 5 months before I met Lloyd Strayhorn at the Tree of Life bookstore. So I was already studying and could do charts and analysis. And back in the day, we didn't have computers. I had to write everything out by hand, literally. I had to make sure my script was nice and neat. And people got a handwritten numerology chart from me. And sometimes those pages went as far as 20 and 30 pages when they were being handwritten. Then, I had a typewriter, a Corona typewriter. And then I was able to get the company was called Brother, and I had a word processor. The only thing was the screen was no bigger than the thickness of this pen that I had to like bend over and look at the words. And sometimes I would lose track of what those words were. And then you press a button and then it moves it in onto the page for you. And the bad thing, I would say, that wasn't so great about that was it printed it on a special paper called thermal paper. Now, the only thing about that is once it dried, you had to go make copies of the thermal paper. Or after a couple of weeks, or actually more like 2, 3 months later, because it's thermal paper and it's very sensitive to temperature in a building, in a house, in a car, in a box, it would kind of disappear off the page. So this thing was important, and so you know it's an opportunity now to take everything that we learn and don't complain and put it into motion. That is definitely essential right now. And so I just want to tell people tonight, as I'm teaching this, sharing this information, that whatever you have been blessed with, whatever you are living in a state of gratitude that you have acquired, I suggest that you start to operate within those tools that you have. also want to state there are some very beautiful people I've come across on the internet. And I'm going to mention two of them. And first of all, what I want you to pay attention to, there is a young brother, I guess he's in his 30s, late 20s or 30s. His name, I would pronounce his name as Jesus Barnes, but I heard his mother say Jesus Barnes because she kind of gave it to him, Jesus Barnes. And he's what I call a real life airbender, not the one we see in the movies. They had the airbender, the firebender, the waterbender, and then you had the earthbender, right? There's some real people practicing and living the skills of telekinesis, and they can do this. He lives in New Jersey. He wrote a book about it, and I'm going to purchase that book one day. I'm going to talk about it for him a lot. I hope he won't mind. I'll ask his permission first. I'm going to study some of those things. Um, because in my earlier years, I was studying telekinesis, but didn't have the understanding that these guys have. And there are men and women around the world who are in studying telekinesis from a scientific standpoint and have acquired skills that they could readily use. And they all they can do right now is record each other. But you need to go look him up. Sometimes he's on Facebook, he's on Instagram. He's known as Jesus the Living Son, okay, or Jesus the Living Son. And look him up because he's got some power working with the wind. He's working with candle flames. They have what they call the psychic house in, I believe, in New Jersey. It's very interesting. They take pieces of tin foil and flatten them out and then angle it right. And they'll put one person on one side of a table, another person on another side. And it looks like they're playing tinfoil style ping pong. And it's very unique to watch them do this. There's a woman there who is a Reiki teacher, and she's applying her skills. There's a young man who splits or pops a balloon, and he's not doing nothing but directing his telekinetic energy in which to do that, his chi within his auric field. And so, if you ever run across Jesus Barnes or Jesus Barnes, you should definitely watch his videos. They have people from all over the world practicing. And this is very powerful, very unique. They understand meditation in their way to develop themselves to be able to do this. And to see them do this is crazy. But it makes me smile because he's now coming out with this. He's going to be running classes and teaching classes. There's another brother named Senpai or Senpi Kai, I think. Well, anyway, he's another brother that does, can set pieces of paper on fire with his chi. He understands how to do it. So, now, one more person I want to mention. This person told me about a new social media website, which you'll see if you scroll down to the bottom underneath my picture here. This is my cousin Joseph R. Wheeler III. His father is Joseph R. Wheeler II, and Joseph R. Wheeler II and myself are first cousins, as well as Joseph R. Wheeler II's older brother, uh, Eddie Lorenzo Wheeler, who's like a year or two older than my brother, which is Napoleon Henry Revels-Bey, and their mom, their late mother, Fanny Delaney, and my late mother, Grace Virginia Delaney, were sisters. My Aunt Fanny, I believe, was a little older than my mother. And their father, her husband, was Joseph Russell Wheeler the first. He was a Mohawk Indian from Monroe, New York, and when he joined and went into the service, he became. I hope my channel isn't going off. No, I'm okay. He went into my. They both entered the war. Okay, they signed up, and Joseph R. Wheeler Sr. became a military police officer. My father became a master sergeant, and they were part of the 366 Infantry, which was called back in that day all black army unit, infantry unit, who served in Tuscany, Italy. So, and that made history. So, the reason why I bring it up is um, JRW, the third, is an avid actor. He's a film producer as well. He studied a little bit at Pratt University, Pratt in Brooklyn, for a year or two, and then came back to Atlanta, Georgia, to finish his studies. He has garnished cameo shots for Black Lightning, which you can see on Netflix. He was also on, and I what's so unique about him? When I saw him on Netflix, I'm saying, boy, he looks like a cousin of mine. He's got that Wheeler look. And I wasn't sure if that he was my cousin. But when I saw the movie Wakanda, not just for the first time, but the second time, there's a left profile of him cameo shot toward the end of the movie where Chad Boseman's character, T'Challa, is talking about vibranium, like he's talking to the United Nations. And I realized that looks like my cousin. And I called up his dad, my first cousin. I said, hey, Russell, there's this guy there in the movie Wakanda. And my cousin, he remained quiet. And he and his wife were laughing in the background. But yeah, he informed me that that was him. And then, of course, he had a second cameo shot in Wakanda Forever, where you just see him walk into the frame from the back. It says FBI, so you see him walking. So he's doing a pretty good job for himself. He's also a deft artist. He's also I've worn a fishing jersey in his business. His foundation is called Onyx Con, which is ONYXCON, and that's for the Onyx Con convention that he was giving every year about one weekend down in, I think, the southwest side of Atlanta, Georgia. And he would, invite some of the people from Wakanda, actors that could come out, and also for Netflix to, be there at his event. Um, I purchased one of his fishing jerseys. I think it was 2021 fishing jersey, and I have my logo on the upper right shoulder, back on the back, and where I'm one of maybe 100 sponsors for that, and everybody has their logos on there. So I wanted to give a shout out to my cousin, um, Joseph Russell Wheeler III of Onyx Con, because he invited me to a social app that's been around for 4 years, social media app that's better than TikTok, that's better than Instagram, that's better than anyone that's out there on the market. And it's called Fan Base, FANBASE, Fan Base. Fan Base is originated by Isaac Hayes III. Now, when you hear that name, Isaac Hayes, what are you thinking? Is he related to the singer? Yes, Isaac Hayes on Stax Record that wrote the theme song for the movie Shaft. That's his father. So Isaac Hayes the second, who was the composer, organist, and piano player for Stax Records, had this son named after him, and he is the founder, owner, and creator of Fanbase. So I'm now also not just on Instagram. I left TikTok alone back in 2024. In fact, I left TikTok on 12/31 of 2024. Pulled out. I was on it for 4 years. I think I came close to 8,000 followers, and I was doing numerology, dreams, you name it. I was asking questions, and Lloyd was on there, so it's okay. We're not in competition. A lot of people that were on there, they're doing readings and all. I was just giving the information from my heart. And so I talked about tarot cards and the difference between tarot cards and playing cards. And then I talked about gemstones. And I was proficient in teaching meditation. And I went live, I think, about 3 times. And my audience mushroomed up to close to 600 people watching me talk about numerology and dreams and so forth. So I'm giving it an opportunity, giving myself a chance to be a part of fan base and do some 2-minute videos in the morning on meditation right now, and then break them into several parts, and then of course to eventually go live. And I think what is so unique, I don't have to wait till I have a big bunch of followers in order to go live. I could probably go live anytime I want. So I just wanted to put that out there. So if you come across OnyxCon, ONYXCON, not only is he on Facebook, but he's also on Instagram. He's also on one other platform, I believe. So follow. Oh, he's on YouTube here as well. So go to OnyxCon on YouTube. You could hopefully buy a subscription or membership and follow him. If not, follow what you see that you're comfortable with. Okay. All right. So the next thing I want to mention, get this up front, is I have 2 online courses. One is going to start in another 6 weeks almost, and I have somebody that's going to be taking that course with me. I'm the type of guy, I will teach if there's just one of you. I'll teach if there's a small crowd. You know, I'm a teacher, and I've been teaching metaphysics and spirituality for a very long time. Well, first of all, this 8-week course is called Meeting Your Higher Self. Meeting Your Higher Self will kick off on Wednesdays in the evening, March the 25th, and it'll go all the way to March 20th. Now, that's 9 weeks. So, what happens is April the 15th is a Wednesday. So, we know people going to be doing taxes last minute. I'm one of them. I don't think I'll be ready to do my taxes then. But anyway, we're going to skip Wednesday, April the 15th, and we will resume on April the 22nd. Some of the topics that I'm going to talk about are, well, first of all, when this class kicks off on Wednesday, March the 25th, and going through Wednesday, March the 20th, the time for me out here will be 6 p.m. Mountain Time. If you're Central Time Zone, it will be 7 p.m. If you're East Coast, it will be 8 p.m. Of course, if you're Pacific Coast, West Coast, it will be at 5 p.m. That's the latest I can do it in order to get myself in and get the people on the East Coast into the course. So here are a few of the 8 weeks topics. The importance of attuning to your higher self. What is that about? Who is the higher self? It's based on my book, Radiant Heart, this course. The second class is what is a dynamic flow and how to activate it. There's a way, you have to know what the flow is, though, within you and how to do that flow. Third class is how to connect, activate directly with your higher self. And that's a part of the subtitle of my book, right? Those of you who have that book and are studying that book right now, if you read and study the book, um, I hint at who the higher self is in the book. So this is the book that sells on Amazon for $25 as a paperback. Radiant Heart: The Seven Amazing Pathways to Connect, Activate, and Communicate with Your Higher Self. So I talk about that in here. I give you an idea. So if you have the book, when I'm teaching the course, you'll be quite familiar with it. And I'm going to skip around to some of the other lessons. Your higher self dwells in many places, but specifically two. And then meeting your higher self in the great central sun. Throughout this 8, 9 week course here, what's going to happen is I'll be giving you some meditation, guided meditation, in which to help keep you on track so that you absorb the information in a way that you can comprehend it. Now, you're going to want to know what the fee is, right? The early bird fee, if you can pay this fee, early bird fee, before March the 1st, 2026, you can get this early bird fee for meeting your higher self for $328. That allows you to save $72 because after March the 1st, going all the way when the class starts, the standard fee is $400. So jump on it as soon as you can if you think you can get in. And hey, this is what I will allow you to do. If you are, many of you that are always listening to me on here are my spiritual sons and daughters. So you're going to get it for a flat rate of $300, which means you could, drop out one half, 150. I will know who you are. I have a list of who the spiritual sons and daughters connected to the Circle of Grace One. Also, starting on Wednesday, June the 3rd through July 22nd, 2026, which is also another Wednesday series, this is the Creative Pathwork Meditation Series. And of course, this class kicks off at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is an 8 week online course. Some of the things you will learn is what is and how does creative pathwork meditation work. You will learn the difference between guided and silent meditation. You'll learn the importance of understanding the 5 flames of light. There are 5 flames of light that I use in this course, and each week you will experience each one. So, first one is bridge the brain, heart, and body with white light. You're going to get the feeling what it's like to set that up inside your auric field, and so on and so forth. We'll go into strengthen the physical with the golden yellow light. We'll use calm your emotions and center yourself through pink light. We will use the violet light of transcendence. And last, just like this, or a little lighter, silence through the blue light. Open the door to your higher self. So, those are the 5 flames as light that I will teach you. If you want to take this course, an early bird fee must be received before April the 30th, 2026. That early bird fee is $330, saving you $30. Standard fee kicks off um, after April 30th, and that is the standard fee becomes $360. Now, again, both of these courses, 8 week online courses, are based on my book, Radiant Heart: 7 Amazing Pathways to Connect, Activate, and Communicate with Your Higher Self. Payment methods will be accepted. So all you got to do is email me at iam.circleofgrace1 at gmail.com. That's iam.circleofgrace with the number 1 at the end at gmail.com, and that's all lowercase. And I will send you the different ways in which you can pay me. and we'll take care of that. Also, when you sign up and get the first payment in, I will send you my private Zoom link because it's going to be a live video streamed course. And uh, what you also need to know is, as a student, you always receive a copy of the video streamed classes. So that's after each class is done. I within 24 to 46, 48 hours, I send you that live video course so that you start to have a library. Okay. And when I send you the course topic, I'm not going to send you the outline because it's pretty intense to put these outlines together, but I will just send you the course title for each class with the Zoom link. Okay. Some people have asked me, well, can I study, can I enroll in both of these 8-week courses? Yes, you can. And if you do, you're going to get a discount. I don't know what the discount is going to be yet, but can you imagine if you're already getting, as my spiritual daughter and son, if you're already receiving um, flat rate fees for either one, which is $300. And then if you tell me you want both of them back to back, so to speak, then I'll knock off another 100 in there somewhere, and you can get them both for $250 a piece. So, hey, I'm here to help you, and I hope you will be present enough to take this journey with me. So, I know sometimes people want, numerology information. Now, yes, excuse me, I've been a numerologist since 1974. That's 4 years before I met my brother, Lloyd Strayhorn. Um, I like doing numerology. I can teach it quite often. And, a lot of things are received from it, but I'm also a spiritualist. And so the reason why I'm not always talking about, numerology or reading people all the time, because it kind of pigeonholes me, you see. Numerology is my second love, meditation is my first love. And the reason why I like to get more into teaching meditation, because it helps expand your auric field so you can receive and retain more information, whether it's about numerology, whether it's about dreams, whether it's about uh, crystals, especially selenite, which is my forte. I've been working with selenite since 1988. That's a long time. How many years is that? 1988 to now. That's what? A long time. That's 38 years I've been studying and working with selenite. 38 years. That's a long time. So, um, it's important to uh, study these works and work with this material so that we have the opportunity to be blessed by the material. And so I'm going to talk about numerology. And if you want me to analyze someone's name or something, feel free to stick it in the chat and we get some additional paper out here so that if it happens, it happens. Let me staple them together. Now, one of the things you want to be aware of, and I'm going to kick this off with some numerology notes right now. One of the things you want to be aware of when you're working with numerology, and I know that people, we all have a tendency to take shortcuts. And one of the things is when we are taking shortcuts, we are we are not allowing ourselves, excuse me, an opportunity to get the necessary insight that we need to receive. And so I want to make sure that we all are getting this information. Now, also, at the same time, we want to realize that we got to study. And the reason why I'm saying that is so important right now. Other people who are being disruptive, who are trying to keep division in place, who are trying to keep our people at each other's throats, are practicing rituals. You need to be aware of this. Are practicing rituals in group format at different times of the day to interrupt your sleep. Think about that. You might say, I'm having a hard time going to sleep. Well, it could be someone on the other side of the fence sending you energy. They don't know who you are, but they know to send it and to send it out. So it's like a seeking missile. It will find you. But you have to realize that you have the ability to block and deflect those things. There's a financial war going on. We're understanding that. There's a property war, real estate property war going on. We understand that. There's things that are designed to kick us out of the way. But if you allow yourself to remain quite attached to the deepest root of yourself, then it won't matter what other people are doing. They won't be able to block you. They won't be able to hinder you. They won't be able to slow up your finances. They won't be able to cause havoc in your household or your community. And sometimes what some of these people are unaware of is we might be able to physically feel emotional and physical pain, but we don't feel the spirit pain because we're of the light. We've always been of the light, and we come and go. And the most important thing is you can never truly kill the spirit of a person because that person is not a physical person. That person, us, is a spiritual being of light. What kind of light? Solar light. What kind of solar light? Sunlight. Which one, though? Every galaxy has its own sun. So, which sun are we talking about? And that sun is a blue sun. It's not a golden sun. That's why I wear the shades of blue a lot. That golden sun is a sun that's birthed from the major sun called Sirius. Sirius. Sirius is the great central sun. Fraternal orders study the great central sun. They have a Jacob's ladder in the lodge that represents going up to touch not just star Jupiter, but sun star Sirius, because they know that's the connection. So we have to allow ourselves to walk the path, to reach out for this path, and get ourselves moving on the path. One of these things I want to also mention here is that at some point tonight, I'm going to get you to practice with me enough so that when you go to sleep at night, you're going to do what is called soul travel, not astral travel, soul travel. And the difference is the astral travel has been watered down, has been polluted enough. It's still clean energy, but there's a lot of misdirection in it. But if you go and soul travel, then you will be able to connect to the proper frequencies beyond the earth. Now, what is the soul? The soul is sort of like what an auric field is to the physical body. The soul is the auric field of your higher self. But who is the higher self? You're the higher self. The higher self can look like a child. The higher self can shapeshift into a crone, into an elder man. It can shapeshift into anything it wants. Why? Because it's free and sovereign from the physical world, the astral belt, and the mental belt. It's not controlled by any of those things. So our goal is to get in touch with that, not let it slip away anymore. Why? Because you don't need someone trying to tune into it, trying to manipulate the source or resources and divine sources of your higher self and attune themselves to it. Now, we might think that it can't happen. Past 30, 40 years, they've been trying. For the past 30 and 40 years, a group of people around the planet has been trying to manipulate the frequency. Now, people might say, okay, well, you got the cell phone towers. That can't be true. If it can't be true, then why do we get tired? We get tired from watching smart TVs, from your cell phones. People are still using microwave ovens, from microwave ovens as well. So we have to begin to pay more attention because there's a lot of things that are happening that we are still quite unaware of. So I'm going to talk a little bit from my numerology book, what you can hear or receive at this time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read forth a lot of different things here. One of the things I'm going to do from my book is give you the information, the particular colors and gemstones of the root digits 1 through 9. I'm definitely going to give you that tonight. What I'm also going to do is, first of all, I'm going to read the affirmations that were put together for single digits 1 through 9, because I want you to receive that actually from 0 through 9. And this is more or less the metaphysical approach so that you feel grounded. Okay, if you know anybody that wants to listen, just tell them, hey, Brother Francis is on YouTube. The 0 usually represents the divine potential of the father and the mother, which is the presentation in a metaphysical sense of what divine father and divine energy is. The number 0 represents all of the numbers. So here's the affirmation that is very important. I am the beginning and the end of all that is everywhere. I, as the 0, am nothing, and I am yet, and yet I am also you as well. This is coming from the spirit of the 0. I am the womb, the true matrix, and an integral part of your well being. So we don't get into the understanding of the 0, we get thrown off track. You are birthed through me, the alma mater. This is the 0. It is known as I am that I am. So we want to begin to comprehend that because all these things, these affirmations in this book, begin to be birthed through the zero. When we look at the number one, the quality of the one has the ability to lead others. The affirmation of the one is I am the first layer of consciousness where I remember I came from nothing, which is zero, and will return. I am here to learn who I am, where I am, and why I am. I am learning that I am standing. I am alone and yet self sufficient and never lonely. I seek myself wherever I go, courageously, for my reflection as my other half. I am one. Starting to build. We talk about in my book the nature of the two. The two is the gift of partnership. The two is a mediator and a peacemaker. It represents a lot of times duality and polarity and opposition. Affirmation of the two. I am the second layer of consciousness and remembrance. I have come to remind all of you that I am simply a reflection of the one. I sing songs of polarity, opposites, and duality. I can blend with you or feel different from you. I can dance with you, feel the tension between us, or simply standing still next to you. Remember, I am the reflection of the one, thus call me the two. Then there's the number three. The number three deals with laughter and joy and celebration. The number three is comprised of the number one plus two. It is representing expansion through the gift of creative self expression, which is self as the number one, and the gift of gap, which is the gift of the number two. Number twos can be talkative. That's why, because they're that root part connected to the number one. There's my good friend there, Melanie. How are you doing? Much love to you. One of these things, as we excuse me, go through these numbers and trying to understand them, there is always a philosophical key connected. So what is so unique is if you're around number three people, they can be talkative, they got a lot of information to share with you, and they don't really hold back. Threes like to have a lot of friends. Ones like to be leaders. Twos like to have a partnership. Three, though, is hey, I'm like the child between both of them. Let me express myself. So here's something about the affirmation of the number three. I am the third layer of consciousness and called by many conscientious, creative, comical, and the one who seeks the spice of life itself. I move about from one experience to another, just as a bee seeks and finds the nectar from flower to flower. I come to remind you, which is the number one, to seek and gather your reflection, which is the number two, and become free to live your life with sweetness, like me, the number three. Excuse me. I don't have a cold. I had a psychic fair. I was up like for 12 hours and I worked for 10 of those 12 hours. It was a very long day. That was yesterday. And then I purchased some smoked cheese and smoked sugar And I realized when I had that stuff, it leaves a residue in the body. But nonetheless, I'm here. It also cleanses the body. That's what's so unique about it. So I have to, excuse me, cut my phone off because sometimes I have other people may not be aware that I'm on here, and this is what I often call random podcasting because if I let everybody know I'm on, sometimes I get an interruption. One of my spiritual sisters from Long Island was watching for a moment. That was nice. So here we go, stemming forward here. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because I know some of you might want to jump on. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, is the best way to do it. Fall off and subconsciously and subliminally get this information. So here's the number four. Fours are very bright, very intelligent. Fours are the trailblazers. Four are the system busters. In other words, they have a uniform way of thinking. They can be a strategic thinker, but they're going to do it their way. And they also share that with sevens. So here's one of the things when we look at four. Because sometimes people think number fours aren't logical people. They're not practical, like their heads are all over, which is not true. They're actually observing everything that's going around, and then they insert themselves in a way that they can feel comfortable in the midst. So here's the affirmation of the four. I am the fourth layer of consciousness, and I remember that during deep thought, I must realize it is my best nature to be the delicate balancing point between chaos and order. So that means fours can handle chaos as well as order as well. I can stand alone like the one, find my other half to reflect upon, which is the number two. I am creative, playful, and I'm seeking the nectar and the sweetness of life like the number three. I have decided to make a strong foundation while seemingly being different. I am simplicity at its best. I am the door to a new world. So just call me the number four. You want to understand how numerology works, you really have to study it in deep, deep ways. The same with if you were being a tarot reader. You got to study those cards and how they connect in life. That's the best way to do it because then you'll see how it's supposed to be formulated or how you can use it or how you can speak a truth from it at any given point. Well, five is not difficult. Five can be brash. Five loves speed. Five is inquisitive, ask a lot of questions. They want to know where everything is going. But here's the kicker, three and five sometimes can have a nervous situation. They can have an actual breakdown because they're, see, three is expansive and five is a step higher than the four. Four can be chaotic or orderly, and five is just trying to get it together. Five is trying to communicate the ideas. So here is um, the need to understand the philosophy of the five. Here's its affirmation. I am the fifth layer of consciousness who reminds you to position yourself to adapt to different conditions. Make the necessary adjustments and be prepared to share your truths about this journey called life. This is what the five personality is all about. Now that I know what it is like to be the one, with standards. See, one represents standards. Two, as its reflection. Three, to be creative and carefree, because that's essential. Four, to create from a sturdy foundation with simplicity. That's what the five is about. It has all those qualities. So it is time to come alive, as I am always named the five. So now we got four more to go. When we talk about six, six really deals with morale and ethics and principles. Sometimes sixes slip away from that because they find themselves trying to please others, or they sometimes six wants to be placed on a pedestal, and that's not where you want to be. Six is the upside version of the nine, and many people try to place nines on a pedestal, and that's not where they want to be. Six handles the principles as taught by parents and elders and so forth within a household. They have to avoid being judgmental and controlling others. Fours or sixes need to focus on their health aspect. Fives and sixes are attracted to people. That's one of the things you want to know about. So usually, five knows how to be the dapper Dan, dapper woman. Six is a fashionista. Six is going to pull it together. Six finds bargains. So six can get an item in a thrift shop, clean it, sew it up, and make it look like it was bought out of J.C. Penney's or Kohl's or Macy's or Versace, Gucci. It knows what to do because it plays to an audience. So here's the affirmation for six. I am the sixth layer of consciousness and remind you to love yourself first. That's important. Many of us don't love ourselves first. Be grateful for who you are and what you have. Always respect another person's boundaries. Now, some sixes, I've run across some sixes, and some do and some don't. The ones who don't respect the boundaries are the ones that I find trying to manipulate and control other people. More about the six. I have come from the zero with infinite treasures of being just, balance, harmony, and love. Remember, we are all one family, and that each one of us is the sweetness of life itself. That's why I'm called the number six. So here we are. We're coming down to number seven, number eight, and number nine. What I want you to know is that fours, seven, and eights have a connection to each other, just like eights and ones have a connection to each other. Three, six, and nine have a connection to each other. We have to delve into these things. The seven and the four and eight, they're part of the old soul trilogy. That means they know they've been here before. They know how to relate to elders, older friends, teachers, older life mates. Seven doesn't. So here's what you need to know. Seven likes research. It likes the mystical. It likes the occult. It likes the art. It likes culture, just like the numbers before it. But here's what I want you to understand. Seven can link you up to grace, self study, a desire to retreat when necessary. In other words, seven can be in the midst of an argument because others on both sides is trying to put them in the middle to be the peacemaker, to be the mediator. And that's where seven doesn't need to be. Seven needs to stay on the outside. Here's the affirmation for the number seven. I am the seventh layer of consciousness and true remembrance. I am you and we are one. We reflect all to become one again. I am creative, free spirited, youthful, and simple. I am eccentric, sage like, and magical like you. I love life here and yet dwell in the remembrance of the galaxies shining brightly above our heads. I am a rainbow guiding you through the corridors of infinity beyond the heavens, for I am seven. Two more to go now. If you want to make any comments, you can always list them in the little chat section there. If you got a question, place it there as well. But here's the number eight. It's the part of the fours and the sevens. The old soul trilogy is 4, 7, and 8. These are the elders. These are the ones that try to understand power and authority. Sometimes can get caught up in power and authority. They like to organize their skills. They like to be pragmatic, down to earth. They like to let you know they had a lot of information, but watch like the 6 and 8 can be a little on the bossy side. But eights are the elders, and sometimes they do things from an expert type level. And there's nothing wrong with that. They are the keepers of celebrations and traditions. So let them be a part of that. Eights, like six, love family. So they try to create a legacy that can be long term. Eights are the ones that may hold on to things, old stamps and coins, old clothing, old furniture, but they may understand there's a market for the old. So be aware. So here is the eight with its affirmation. I am the eighth layer of consciousness. As I have stated all my reasons for being here, like you, and endeavor to remind you that I reside from the infinite well of Mother's matrix called the womb. I am often called the Lumiscate. Lumiscate, Lumiscate. That's the figure eight. The eight, when it's on its side, is the figure eight. Horizontal by nature. It means it's spinning. I am like two eyes gazing upon you in two circles tangent to each other that will sometimes overlap, just enough to create space for a single eye. Did you get it? Two loops, two eyes, third eye. That's where they meet. I personally coined the phrase, this is me, I personally coined the phrase, as above, so below. That's the number eight. And can walk upon the earthly plane with an even gait, even stride. I am the number eight. Now we're getting down to the last number. That is number nine, the great humanitarian. Number nine is the spiritual warrior. Number nine is the minister of things, administers much. The number nine is a teacher as well, a trend center as well. The nines are very competitive people. Doesn't matter where you're born, 9th, 18th, or 27th, they're competitive. Here's what you need to know though. They are true warriors. Never pick a fight with a number nine. They'll finish it. Well, nine is a part of the masculine gendered numbers, the odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, and 7. The feminine numbers are 2, 4, 6, and 8. So here's what we need to know. This nine is highly independent. It's not considered or should never be considered odd and unusual. Odd and unusual is the number 4. 5 is a great traveler, so is 6, but 9 travels the longest distance. The 9 person will observe things going on. If it doesn't like it, they'll yank themselves out of the chaotic situation. 9s are natural leaders, they're not followers. They have to learn humility. And if they already have the humility, just keep expressing it. So, The nine sometimes does not need to worry about anything because what usually happens is their life will go around and meander, go around in circles and have various cycles, but it will always return back to itself. That's what you need to know. And what is the nine comprised of? 1 plus 8, that's a 9. 2 plus 7, that's a 9. 3 plus 6, that's a 9. And 4 plus 5, that's a 9. 9 should avoid bragging about anything. But what people say that nines could be braggarts, but not really. What happens is the nine has accumulated a lot of wisdom, a lot of teachings, a lot of locations. They know where the heart of a situation is. So other people get jealous of them. So here is the affirmation of the last number, which is 9. I am the ninth layer of consciousness and remembrance. I have shared with you all my aspects from 1 to 8, including my highs and lows. I reach for the impossible so that I could attain all that is possible. Therefore, that's why I'm called the nine. These numbers are very potent and powerful. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump right away and I'm going to give you sun signs, planets, weekdays, and I'm going to tell you who you get along with, who you have a direct opposition to, and who you are neutral to. And then I'll give you the colors and some of the gemstones. Here you go. Number 1 is Leo. It represents the planet or star, which is the sun. The number 1 represents Sundays. Its attraction numbers are 1, 4, 2, 7, and 5. Opposition numbers are 6 and 8. Neutral numbers are 3 and 9. The number 1 gets the colors yellow, gold, and red. Gemstones: rutilated quartz, ruby, tiger's eye, which is a brown tiger's eye, garnet, which is a deep, rich red, carnelian, which is connected to the sun, sunstone, fire agate, citrine, larimar, chrysocolla, clear quartz, red jasper, and turquoise. Now, there are more than that, but this is what I received intuitively when I was putting this book together. So, there's a lot there. So, let's move on to number 2. The number 2 is the sign of Cancer. It represents the moon, the ruler of Cancer, and it rules Mondays. Attraction numbers are 2, 7, 1, 4, and 5. Opposition numbers are 9 and 8 in that order. Neutral numbers are 3 and 6. The colors. Did I hit the colors of the? Yes, I did. So the colors of the 2 are orange, silver, white, peach, pink, mint green, and all pastel shades. The gemstones for the number 2 are moonstone, agate, clear quartz, orange, citrine, orange calcite, amethyst, malachite, chrysocolla, chrysoprase, fluorite, and selenite. Very, very powerful flow. So, what about the 3 energies? 3 is outspoken. It's the one that follows the rules when it can. 3 is very principle minded and loves to express itself. But here's what we need to know now when we get to the sun signs, days of the week, and such. 3 represents Sagittarius. The planet is Jupiter, and the day is Thursday. Its attraction numbers to the 3 are 3, 6, and 9. Its opposition numbers are 5 and 8. Its neutral numbers are 1, 2, 7, and 4. The colors of this number 3, all shades of blue, purple, lavender, dark reds like wine, and burgundy. Gemstones are lapis lazuli, sodalite, pyrite, jasper, onyx, amethyst, agate, emerald green, ruby, and turquoise are favored when it's coming around the number 3. But here's the number 4. As I said, it's an old soul trilogy, 4, 7, and 8. Here's something you might want to consider. Astrological sun sign, planet, and weekday. Aquarius, Uranus. That's connected to 4. And Sundays. Attraction numbers are 4, 7, 1, 2, and 5. Opposition number 8, 6, and sometimes 9. Neutral number 3. The colors and gemstones of the number 4. Metallic and shimmery colors or sparkling or electric colors such as blues, silvers, muted tones like the plaids may show you patterns of gray, black, and white together. Patterns like pinstripes, bands that can be vertical as well as horizontal. There's the window pane, right? Checks and diamond shapes. Gemstones, hermatite or hematite. That's that silver looking, and it can be magnetic. Garnet, turquoise, amethyst, moss agate, as well as agate, sugilite, and perhaps lapis lazuli and opal. So here's the number 5. Try not to fall asleep on you all. Don't worry, I won't. 5, it represents Gemini and Virgo, ruled by Mercury. Day of the week is Wednesday. Attraction numbers are itself 5, followed by 2, 7, 1, and 4. Opposition numbers to the 5 are 3, 8, and sometimes 9. Neutral number is 6. Colors of the 5: silver, light blue, shimmering and sparkling and metallic colors, soft or pastel shades such as yellow, white, earth tones, sage, moss green, olive, brown, tan, or what is called beige, and black, very earthy. Gemstones of the 5: yellow topaz, diamond, clear quartz, malachite, hematite, ruby, emerald, pyrite, lapis lazuli, turquoise, and amethyst. Very powerful, you see. Let's go to the number 6. Number 6 likes hanging out with family and friends. They socialize big, but watch them. Sometimes they might try to control you. The number 6 represents Taurus and Libra, ruled by Venus. Days of the week is a Friday. Let me back up here a little bit. The day of the week, I did tell you, which was Wednesday for number 5. So, it's interesting. We got 6 people on here. Give 4 thumbs up. So here is the 6. Again, it's Taurus and Libra represented or ruled by Venus, and the day of the week is Friday. The opposition number to the 6 is 6 itself. Well, opposition numbers are 1, 4, and 8. Attraction numbers to the 6 are 6, 3, and 9. That's because they're very creative. Neutral to the 6 is 2, 7, and 5. 2, 7, and 5. Now we have its colors, all shades blue, especially royal blue, sky blue, pink and coral pink, green, emerald green, forest, olive, and sage. Gemstones are ruby, red garnet, pink and green tourmaline, watermelon tourmaline, sodalite, chrysocolla, rose quartz, kyanite, sapphire, emerald, beryl, iolite, topaz, and opal. Very powerful. Huh? It's amazing how all of these can be linked together. They share in the same valley of where gems can be found or in the mountaintops, but they have this connection. The number 7 is part of that old soul trilogy, like the 8 and the 4. So one of the things you want to 7 are loners, very analytical, mystical by nature, metaphysical by nature, and spiritual. So they latch into a lot of things. The sun sign is Pisces for the number 7. The planet that ruled is Mondays, which is Neptune, the ruler of Mondays and that sign. Attraction numbers are 7, 2, 1, 4, and 5, mainly the 4 before the 1. Opposition numbers 9 and 8, and neutral numbers are 3 and 6. Here we jump down to royal colors of the 7. 7 can wear royal purple, lavender, mauve, green, sage, olive, pink, all shades of blue, all shades of turquoise, all pastel shades, wine, burgundy, silver, gold, and white. That's a lot of colors there. But look at the big monstrosity, because if it's attracted to 1, 2, and 4, then it takes its gemstones as well as its own. Selenite is the strongest of all of them. Amethyst, celestial quartz, clear quartz, bloodstone, moldavite, unakite, aquamarine, tektite, red jasper, danbarite, larimar, malachite, lapis lazuli, sunstone, watermelon tourmaline, pink tourmaline, green tourmaline, blue tourmaline, black tourmaline. Is also in love with amber, citrine, smoky quartz, celestite, hematite, shaman stone, Herkimer diamond, the diamond itself, pink, rose quartz, chrysola, kunzite, and kyanite, rhodochrosite, sugilite, fluorite, and rainbow fluorite. All that's connected to the 7. But how about the number 8? The 8 shows a lot. 8 has the planet, sign, and weekday. 8 represents Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn. The day of the week is Saturday. Attraction numbers to the 8 are itself and 3. Opposition numbers 4, 1, 6, and 9. Neutral numbers 7 and 5. Colors for the 8 are black, brown, dark green, forest, sage, olive, plum, eggplant, midnight blue, dark purple, beige, tan, and gray, and some muted tones like half colored tones. The gemstones are black, tourmaline, onyx, hematite, shaman stone, smoky quartz, red jasper, red jasper, picture agate. That means there's a picture, looks like a picture forming from the striations found in agate, pyrite, magnetite, ruby, topaz, emerald, azurite, rutilated quartz, malachite, obsidian, snowflake obsidian, bronze, tiger eye, and lincoln. Now we're getting down to number 9. Number 9 is that number, as it says, the spiritual warrior. Don't mess with nines. Nines will get you back. But nines strive to be humanitarians and very loving people. Also makes them very protective. 9 represents Mars, the ruler of Aries, Scorpio, and Tuesdays. The attraction number to the 9 is 9, 6, 3, and 1. Opposition is 2, 7, and 8. Neutral numbers, there are none. Sometimes you can have explosive reactions with the number 4 and 5. So now we're getting down to the last itty bitty stretch. Colors of the 9 are red, gold, orange, wine, burgundy, and white. Gemstones: fire opal, jet, jade, amber, red jasper, red garnet, ruby, danbarite, tanzanite, pink tourmaline, and diamond. So I wanted to bring that out to you. Again, there's a lot of information that's being released into the world, and you should be on the receiving energy, especially when it could help motivate you, uplift your spirit, make you feel better about yourself, create healing within your body. Make sure that you're applying affirmations and decrees throughout your life, throughout your waking state, before you go to sleep. This way you keep negativity from pouncing into your life. Sometimes you may want to shut off the TV set, or if you don't want to do that, you can put something like a towel on top that cuts down the static and energy that flies off of it once you're done watching it. So I wanted you to make sure that you are aware of that. Now, here's something else. Since I mentioned that Radiant Heart is where a lot of information is going to come from, I need to read something from that book. And just before I do that, does anyone have any questions? I want to thank Holly Hemmett, Melanie Hall. Excuse me. We had Carol Hills here, Carol Renee Hills. We've had Melanie here. And there's some other people I know they're sitting here a little bit. They just might be holding out. Yeah. So, and some of them have come and gone. So, what I want you to always realize is that you can always be better at what you are doing. You can always be better at what you are doing. So, you don't need to come in last place with yourself. You need to motivate yourself so that you're always moving forward. One of the things I'm feeling in my head is that, and I think I said it earlier, it's highly important now that we take these truths that we have mapped out for ourselves and to put them into motion. In this book, I'm going to state something. First part, excuse me, the first part is from chapter number 3. We are never alone. Throughout our journey through life, we often think and feel that we are always alone. How many of you have thought that? Even when you have support, emotional and mental support, or physical support, or financial support, you are going to always track into your life people who are meant to be with you, people who are meant to for you to associate with, people that could share insight with you and you share your insight with them. These things are important right now. It's important that we gather ourselves together and learn to help each other. We're here in a 3D world, consciously working on the solar plexus. But we got to activate everything together, not let one side of us slide off. What we have to also do here is work on the sides that have been hidden from us and hidden from others. That's what people call the shadow self. The shadow self is not a negative person, it's a part of you that you have to figure out how to work along with it. Like I say, your auric field is what your physical body needs to impress its thoughts upon. But you have a way in which you can project or be seen by others. And you will make sure that your partner sees that in the light that it should be seen. Our partners in life, we have many. Sometimes we have them all with us, or we're with all the men with her. Here's the important part: we're here to give life to each other. We're here to embrace each other, to express humility with each other. That's what we have to do. As long as we're doing that, we shall be made whole and complete. Now, the lower self is not what people think it is. It's not even your lower self. What you need to know is that the shadow self is the side of us that carries a lower frequency. And so we have to pick up our energy. We have to love ourselves more. That's the key. Loving yourself, and then you love yourself enough where your frequency can be felt by your neighbor, from a sibling, from a person that you don't even know, but that they feel comfortable around you. So we want to be able to reach out globally to people, and we'll be able to do that soon, reaching out globally. What else are we seeking? Higher consciousness. Higher consciousness evolves around us and through us and with us. It's a living entity. It can feel, it can think. So when you're in touch with your higher self, you just letting all of that I just said be growing flowers in your shadow self. But you're going to control it. That's your broken part. You're going to control it, heal it, and make it feel better. So what I want you to realize, there's a lot in these books, so I don't want to overwhelm anyone, but I want you to do this, sort of like a homework assignment. I want you to allow yourself to understand who you truly are. Many people are going to be reaching out for you. Many people are going to try to market themselves to you in different ways. Only take marketing that's helpful to you and helpful to someone else, because you are needed now. That's the great thing to understand. You yourself are needed in this very moment. We all need each other, and we need to grow closer and closer to each other. Here's something I want you to know. Well, let's say I want you to repeat. I want you to embrace your higher self. Here's what I want you to receive through divine power and by divine grace. Those of you who are present in this very moment, who are present and awakened in this very moment, realize that you were never meant to be called a son because you're greater than that. You were never, ever, ever was supposed to receive some sense of entitlement without working for what you desire. We want you to realize, and when I say we, this is all of my ancestors that are present, Akhenaten and Nefertiti who are present, uh, the children from Sirius, such as Baniel or Benel, the spirits who walk the vibration in selenite, Attila and Selena. This is important because everything around us is coming up to greet us. We have to be ready, always ready, so that we're not caught off guard in any way. Here's what I want you to do. We're going to do a guided meditation. Take a deep breath through the nose, release it through the mouth. Again, inhale. Let yourself go as deep as you can. It's important to your well being. To inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Relax your eyes. Relax your face. Actually, massage your face gently. Know that prayers are going out in the world for you from all over the world. Let us pray for each other. Let us affirm lightning fast affirmations and decrees for each other. Let us speak higher truths, higher consciousness into existence so that we all benefit from it. You see, as I said earlier, there's a spiritual war going on, but you can help break the ignorance by putting your light out on the planet. As I said before, my late mother always used to say, hey, son, not everybody's supposed to leave the house. Everybody's supposed to leave, can't leave their neighborhood to go protest. Why? Because if you ain't got no guardian at home, why did you leave? You don't need to find things messed up. You need to keep things in place. See, those who go out, they need to come back and receive some healing for here, for here, for here in the heart. This is essential to who we are about to be. We're going to grow. We're growing right now spiritually. We're growing right now with compassion and gratitude. We're growing right now with this beautiful energy, this blue solar energy mushrooming up throughout our body, traveling in the fascia down into our hands, down into the soles of our feet. Just let that light come. Let it fulfill you. Let it bless you. Know that you're going to feel better now. Continue to inhale through the nose and release the breath through the nose. And I want you to know that you are your I am presence. You are greater than the womb of yourself. You are greater than the resets and the resources that were bestowed upon you by you before you entered this planet. You are blossoming. You are growing. You are becoming more and more of your higher self. So that means when you go to sleep tonight, I want you to say the last few words going off. I am grateful. And feel it. You might say it 2 more times. I am grateful. I have self esteem and I love myself. I'm self confident. I am blessed. I am a blessing. Just know that the light that's in you is also outside of you. The light that is in you is also outside of you. Just know that you can be one with yourself. There's no one exactly like you on the planet. Never has been and never will be. Even if it's a twin, you stand out uniquely from your twin. Know that you carry within you beauty and harmony and truth, humility. You are an infinite great wonder, magically inclined, metaphysically blessed, with a spiritual eye that is infinite. Know that you are receiving light at any point in your life. Know that beauty and harmony exists within you. Know that divine grace is blessing you in this very moment because it is already embedded in the trillions of cells in your body. Live in harmony with yourself. Live in harmony with plant life. Live in harmony with insects. Live in harmony with trees. Feel the oneness enter your veins and enter your blood and enter your fascia every time you inhale and exhale. So, what I want you to do right now, I want you to envision that before you is a beautiful, strong bridge that goes over a lake, and that you can see on either side gemstones embedded in the wall, gemstones embedded in the wall. All that are connected to the numbers 1 through 9 are embedded in the wall. I want to see yourself have a sense of fulfillment and completion. I want to see yourself speak the truth about yourself, who you are. Don't have to worry about other people's truth. We have to speak our truth. And when we speak our truth, we begin to live our truth. And when we live our truth, we grow faster. We understand who we are. Know that you are grace divine, grace in action. Grace is your protection. Grace is your light. Grace is your love. Know that No matter what you do, you are blessed by divine grace. I want you to go forth for the rest of this evening and embrace yourself. Be more of your higher self, and you will receive a direct divine blessing. You shall be well in every moment that you find yourself. You can reach across the plains and the lanes and see another part of you that's in existence. So as I begin to sign off, I don't see any questions, so I'm going to shut down. But I want to let you know, thank you all for following me tonight, whoever else is in the background. Be well, be great, be blessed, and remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Embrace yourself, applaud yourself, kiss yourself, talk good things over your own life. And know that everything that you're going to do from this day, this night forward is going to be a blessing for you. As Akhenaten would say, beloveds, we are all I am. We all live within the consciousness of I am, and that our heart contains the infinite keys called I am. And remember that there's a blessing flowing to you from the deepest part of yourself. Grace divine is yours. And so it is, and so it shall be. I'm going to sign off. May you be well. May you embrace your truths that are beginning to come to the surface. You are one. You are one. You are one. Good morning, wherever you are in the world. Good night, wherever you are in the world. Good afternoon, wherever you might be. My grace is your grace. Be well now. See you soon.